we have the best deck in the format. It's Eugene. Not only can this deck endlessly, mindlessly retire rear guards, it can plus off it. Bruce is nothing compared to a set 3 Eugene. They had to give Bruce Derek or else the matchup would have just been a total blowout. The goal of this deck is to punish decks for playing units through massive tempo swing. Retiring the board, drawing 5 cards, and then calling a free board is very strong and can run through the right deck or right player. Here's my deck list. First off, let's talk about the card that puts Eugene on the map. Best Harvest. This card lets you convert retires into draws for an entire turn. But if it's so nuts, why only run 3? Well, it's not like we need more than 1 per turn, and it's likely enough that we'll see it by turn 3, thanks to how much drawing and filtering the deck does. If you see one, you can see another one guaranteed. Now onto our units. Tribash is the only good card from set 1 we still play. Tribash serves as our main tapping target for Eugene. He pops in the soul to give an extra critical. That's right, an extra critical on Vanguard. This escalates Eugene to be beyond a 3-attack deck. Strong Fortress Dragon Jabrashio and Howitzer the Duststorm Dustin are 2 main retire cards. Jabrashio lets you Soul Blast 1 and retire a unit, but Jabrashio also restands and gains attack for free if your opponent doesn't have more than 1 rear guard. It's an insane engine, alright? And Dustin on place lets you filter a card for free from hand into soul, and then you can retire a grade 2 or greater rear guard. Not only that, he also gains 10k extra power for your opponent having open rear guard circles. These cards are insane. Easy for us and worth building the deck around. Dragritter Idris and Stealth Dragon Kizon Reiji are rear guards that can function as secondary retiring options. Idris can either pop himself into soul to retire one, or it can become a 15k booster. Kizon Reiji is the consistent retiree option from back row. I recommend putting him into one of the side columns to ensure his continued usefulness. Idris, who does everything, is an easy 4 to run in the deck, and Kizon Reiji is providing constant back row snipings, but I think we're gonna run 2 of them. Speaking of supplemental, we have Twin Strike of Duststorm Orlando, who outside of having the best hat, lets us call him out of soul, and then put himself back in the soul, buff of Vanguard. Orlando mainly serves as a way of ensuring Eugene can tap 2 units for his skill, and Orlando being easily recurable does help somewhat. He's not needed at more than 2, as his effect is pretty meh, but in this deck, where units can be pulled out of the deck like crazy, it can definitely be worth it to see 1 a game, and it's easy to see too. If you're paying attention, you'll see that we're running 8 crits and 3 front. This is because we need to turn on the damage early. We don't run draws because it isn't a defensive deck, and we don't need help seeing our pieces, because that's how insane Eugene is.
You guys all think you're so much better than me.
Oh, Meg, that is the least
meta
thing I have ever heard.
On the Mulligans, we're looking to primarily keep Best Harvest, Dustins, and Jabrashio. These are your main playmakers, so you want to look for these. Aegis Kizon Reiji and Persona Rides are also good to keep as well. Tribash isn't super needed. Tribash can be pulled out of deck with Eugene skill, although it might be worth it to keep 1 or 2 if you want to get that early pressure. Keep PG's strengths and crits for defensive matchup. Put back heals and over triggers, and Orlando isn't a big playmaker. We can put it into circulation with Eugene skill. We don't even have to call him to an open rear circle, so don't be afraid to put Orlando back. On to matchups. This deck shreds every rear guard dependent deck. That's right. Take that, Lyrical Monasterio. We're on a roll and bash and get deleted by this deck. You make them neg so much value passively. Dragon Empire decks also get hurt massively as well. But on the other side of the coin, decks like Bruce, who don't need to call out rear guards until you're dead, or don't need rear guards, can just run through you. Eugene doesn't have a lot of pressure on its own, dependent on your opponent's value. On to deck raid. Eugene is a 3-attack deck and really can't do a whole lot more than that. It can just hit okay numbers and can give extra crit to the Vanguard, but it doesn't make the deck super powerful. 2 out of 5 on power. Deck is live, turn 3, standard speed, 3 out of 5. This is primarily a control deck. Insane control values, but Prison still has better control tools, being able to imprison from hand and drop. Eugene still just board wipes just about every turn, effectively. Eugene is super consistent. You draw so much in this deck that it's insane. Eugene can also call cards off top deck, which gives it an extra layer of consistency. 4 out of 5. If we can't retire rear guards, we can't do shit. Most decks will call at least 1, so we can always do something. There's room for cool builds in this deck. 2 out of 5. This deck draws for every retire. Dustin gives an on-place draw. Eugene can call units for free from the deck. The downside is this deck is very expensive on counter blast and units for some skills. 4 out of 5 on value. In conclusion, what a good buff this wave of support is for this deck. Like, it's actually playable and can do much now. The only thing keeping this deck from being better is the wimpy 3-attack limit and the abysmal Bruce matchup. A lot of strong decks this format are gatekept by Bruce. Very unfortunate. That's how meta works. I'd recommend this deck to any Chad. It's very fun to play and makes opponents super confused by how to play against it. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I think Flagberg is up next for deck profile, but I kind of want to spend a bit more time testing it out and experimenting with some techs. So please subscribe to see when that releases. See you next time.